All right, Stack Nation, Stack Daddy coming at you here with a little Labor Day morning video, a little vidya, um, something kind of different, kind of random. Definitely not an unboxing video. This is kind of a just show and tell video. Kind of give you the quick story behind it. As you can see, it's also a little coffee video. Oh man, what if you guys hear that going down my throat? I've got a microphone on, and on the microphone it shows them on the commercial for it. It shows them drinking and eating, and you can hear some crazy throat stuff. I think that's kind of weird, but if it's happening, I hope it don't bug you guys too much. But I'll hit the coffee, just black coffee. That's what I drink. Nothing in it, nothing crazy. I'll tell you the quick story on these guys. Um, some time ago, um, I don't remember if the coin shop reached out to me or if I went into the coin shop. But man, I seen these two beauties in there, and I could tell they were nice, and they were raw, I guess you would say, and someone had traded them in or sold them or done something. But and I have some other collectible currency. I just happened to see these. I wasn't there for that, but so I'm start talking to the guy. I'm like, hey, what's up with these? And I think he said, what did he say? He said something like, nice condition, blah blah blah, $1,000 a piece or whatever. And I ended up saying, hey, I don't try to bug them too much because that's a decent deal. But I ended up buying both of these for $800 a piece, guys. So I got somebody sitting here messaging me something. Um, I bought both of these $800 a piece, guys, and these are nice. As you can see, this one here is even about uncirculated. This one here is choice, very fine. But these things have been, I had them for a few years or whatever. So they're from 1934. We got a 1934A and we got a 1934. That doesn't mean anything really. It's just a different series with the same thing. There may be slight differences in there. If you look, there may be little differences of where this number is, or this stamp is. But I've looked and I don't really see it. So the A doesn't give or take away value. It's just two bills. It's all about the condition of the bill. But but I just said, hey, we're about, what did I say? I said $800 a piece. So I gave them $300 over face value, and I took both bills. And it's because they know me. I spend a lot of money there. That's why they did that, or else they would have probably told somebody else, nope, $1,000 a piece. But I took these bills, and I sent them off to Paper Money Guarantee, which is PMG. You guys can see it right here. It's one of the premier grading sites for, or grading places for collectible currency, in my opinion. There's one other, but for some reason I kind of lean towards them. I really didn't know what to expect. So at that time, I had $1,800 invested, and to have these both graded was $100 and something. It's not that expensive, really. If you got something good, and you're in it good, if I would have overpaid for these and they weren't great condition, I probably wouldn't have done it. Just to get back a 15 or a 20 and something, and I sit there and I'd paid, $1,800 for the bill, so I probably wouldn't have done that. So let's just say that I've got, on the high end, I've got $1,000 invested in each one of these. Let's just say that I do. Well, this one here, I've got a shop they've bugged me multiple times. They want to trade me straight across for an ounce of gold for it. So to them, it's worth, you know, whatever an ounce of gold at 34, 32, 3400 something dollars. And this one here is in the high twos, 27, 28, 2900. It kind of depends on where you go. There's no, like, when it comes to gold, I mean, there's a price. There's a, we all know whatever the price is today is what this Queen's Beast is worth, 3,400 and something dollars or whatever. Like a vehicle, there's a blue book value. That's one thing nice on gold and silver. There's basically a blue book value. And that's kind of like with vehicles. But I'm gonna get way out there for a second. But like when you're dealing with, if you're trying to sell a semi truck, you're trying to buy a semi truck, or or a Honda Foiler or something. There's not really a particular blue book value. You can't open it up and hey, everybody knows the number. When it comes to gold and silver, we know the spot price, the melt. There's a number to go off of. When it comes to this collectible currency, it's really, really the main number is the $500 because really this thing is worth $500. But it's just not like that when it comes to this. There's a lot of play in there. There's a lot of play, and the conditions everything. And you can see, guys, that this is a 53 AU about uncirculated, and this is a 35 choice very fine. Um, I mean, it's kind of up in the air. I wouldn't take less than high 20s or something for this. I might even get some lucky, and I might even get lucky and find something. Get that glare off there. Let's see. Me and the lights. Nope, nope, nope. Okay. Okay. This light. It's not affecting that. That's coming from the light up top. I could turn that off. Let's experiment, guys. We're all just doing this together. Hold on a second. Hold on a second, guys. All right. I don't know if that's any better or any worse. It's really a little bit nicer, isn't it? But nevertheless, and then I think I'm not going to touch it because I'll mess something up. But I could turn this light up here up too. Um, but these bills, what was I saying? Yeah, there's not like a. This is why I don't want to get into, maybe when I'm older, but I don't want to get into a lot of this numismatic coins where I'm in there arguing, like whenever I'm ready to sell my, one of my nice Morgans, let's say, one of my graded Morgans, the CC or something. I don't have, but let's say that I did have one. And I think it's worth 600 and a coin shop's trying to give me 400 and I paid 500 for it 10 years ago or whatever the case is. I don't like all that. I don't, I already, the job I do, the business I own, the stuff I'm into, it's already hectic enough, man. I don't want to make, I don't want to make my stacking hobby investment portfolio. I don't want to make it, I don't want to be miserable with it. I don't want to be in there. Like I've got multiple things for sale on, Facebook Marketplace right now. Just different stuff I've got for sale on there. Nothing to do with this, but other stuff in life that probably the same stuff you guys have bought and sold over the years. And I got like right now I'm talking to you guys. I got somebody messaging me. What about this? What about that? I just don't want to mess with that very much. I'm getting older. I'm not really for sure, but the business I own and what I do, everything is kind of set and the prices are set. It's not, it is what it is kind of a deal. And I've gotten used to that. So I don't want to be jacking with that, dealing with this, with my collectible currency and with my precious metals. I don't want to be sitting there and getting some guy driving me nuts about it. But nevertheless, guys, so I've got, let's just say a couple grand, which I don't quite have a couple grand. Hold on a second, guys. Oh man, I'm gonna listen to this video and see if you can hear that swallowing. If you hear that, guys, and it freaks you out, I'm sorry. That's just what am I supposed to do? Um, but I have other bills, and I have some $1,000 bills, and I have a few other specialty, $1 bills that are supposed to be special and blah blah blah. But I really, in particular, to the $500 bills. I don't know what it is. Um, I love Alaska, and I love Mount McKinley, not Mount Denali. Although I was a kid, it was Mount McKinley, and then an administration some years ago made it Mount Denali. And for some reason, that kind of bugged me. And now the new administration switched it back, and I think that's kind of cool. But I've been on the very top of Mount McKinley. I've been on the very top with an airplane, of course, and out there walking on the glaciers, and I've spent the night at multiple nights at the base of the mountain. I just like it. I don't know what it is, guys. I think it's a cool thing. I like Pikes Peak, and I like all this stuff too in Colorado, but there's something about Mount McKinley in Alaska and the little town at the base of it and the river that we go on and below it, running around it. And when you're there at a certain time of year and you can actually see the full mountain, I mean, it's just sharp, man. It's sharp. And the way I understand it, President McKinley he was supposed to have been a great, impactful president. I like the whole deal. I like the whole deal. I like collectible currency. I like the $500 bill. I like it better than the $1,000 bill. I like President McKinley. I think I even liked him as a kid for some reason. I had a friend in the '80s when I was a kid. His first name was McKinley. The guy's name was McKinley Mahan. That was his name. I kid you not, man. And then I don't know what it is. I just like the whole deal. So am I gonna hold on to these forever, pass them down, or am I gonna my exit strategy? Are these gonna go someday? I don't know, but I do know that I really like them now, and I can't believe I found them in the condition they was in, raw, unslabbed, however you want to call it, and I sent them off. I mean, when you're looking at them visually, you can't even tell the difference. But for some reason, this is a 35 and that's a 53. But you're looking, and they don't mention pinholes. See, back in the day when they took these, some of the girls at the bank, the cashiers, they didn't have an extra drawer, so they would take the $500 bills and they would run a tack through them on the wall next to them. They would tack them up on the wall. That's why when you look at a lot of these, you can see little holes. Sometimes you can't even see them. They're so small. Because the way I understand it, they would try to use the same hole. Maybe they were supposed to try to use the same hole from bank to bank. Who knows? You know how it is when you're working, and this isn't a special thing. Back then, it wasn't special. It'd be like a $5 bill now. So a lot of these will come back pinholes and stuff like that. But these didn't come back with any. None of them. They didn't find any. I guess they just you could just see little staining and stuff on them. You can see some little marks. I guess that's what their deal was, which is, fine with me. I just think they're cool. These could have come back as 20s or 25s, and I thought they was cool. Um, I'm just glad that they look so good, and they're not torn, and there's no big crazy marks. Just looking at them, holding them in your hand, guys, it's kind of, you're kind of struggling a tad bit to find some issues. I think I want to hold on to them. If somebody came through with some, if somebody came through and wanted to trade this one for an ounce of gold, I would hop all over that. I'd be like, okay, you know, I'll take one of these for this. Um, I would. This one here, we're too close on that. I mean, and I know people's going to watch and be like, oh, you're crazy. But I'd like to be in the fours. I'd like to be in the fours on that. If somebody came through with a 1.2057 ounce Mexican Centenario and wanted to trade me out for that, which is worth about 4,100, 4,200. Not that anybody's going to do that, but I do like Centenarios and I do have some of them. I'd probably hop on that because I'm not married to these things. It's just kind of cool that I found them. I didn't really find them in the wild, but kind of in the wild. In the wild, I would have found the original owner. Went to their house and they pulled it out of a drawer and they've had them there for years. But I found a coin shop that must have got a really good deal. It sold me both of them for what, $1,600. So I probably got. I mean, it costs like 150 or something like that. It costs like 150 to grade both of these. So I'm probably in them for like 1750, maybe 1800. I'm pretty sure they were 70, $80 a piece. But I don't know. Once I take them off these stands, guys, it's kind of hard to put them back. So I'll probably just do this and not try to, because if they want to flip over, see, I got to use 3 of these if they want to flip over. Would this work if I see? These bills are a lot bigger than little coins you're used to dealing with. But yeah, guys, and if you can see some crazy marks on them, let me know. What if I brought the light out here a little bit? Try that. That any better? It's like an eye doctor thing. Better, worse. Is that better? Worse. 1, 2. That's what it feels like doing this. See how you can see little. One of these I used to could see. But you guys see these little things that look like something that's, that's supposed to be there. You can see like some little darkness, little dark spots. It's just amazing though. A piece of paper has gone on since, I don't know what that is. 90 something years, 91 years. These are 91 years old, guys. 91 years old. See, they didn't put any notes like they would tell me if there was pinholes, but they're saying, hey, flat out, it's choice very fine. You guys can see it. Let's see. Watch it flip back and just explode the whole video. Okay, whatever. Pick that up there. Somehow this one here was a jump from a 53 from a 35. It's pretty good. But if you guys don't mess with any of this stuff, man, you should. It's pretty fun. You can, I mean, as long as you're, I mean, no matter what, this bill is worth $500. It doesn't matter. This thing can be torn in 15 pieces and dirty as can be, and duct tape all over it, and take it to a bank. It's $500. So at least you got something to start with. See, look on there. Is that a blemish on his face? Does this one have it? It's more pronounced. It looks like you see right there. But hey, somehow this one's supposed to be better. Either way, I don't care. See, they could have switched these, and I never want to know. Like I could be looking at this one in that 35. Okay, I don't know, but they put it through scanners and stuff, which almost like X-rays it, so they're seeing all kinds of stuff. See, I see like blemishes in the fields here. This one here. Let me do a double shot, guys. See, that looks like that's just no. Wow, you can't even. That may be a difference. See that? You can see that E. This one here never, almost like it never had that, that doesn't make sense, or it's just that worn down. Man, this lower rated bill to me, it just looks better. But hey, and that company, that's what they do. That is what they do, guys. Just look at these. Here it is, in case you got something to grade. Just go on Google PMG 2020 Edge. Either way, I look at them and this one here always sort of kind of looks better. And this is the 1934A versus the 1934. Somebody will watch this and they'll know more about this than I do. I mean, did this one here get a better just because of this up here? Like, is this one considered, this EA block, is this considered somehow better? But everything I'll look up, none of this matters. None of this stuff here matters as much as the condition of the bills. But I look at these, and the 35 to me looks somehow better. Now, if they was like 53 and 51 or 49, or if they was 35 and 39, then I'll be okay. But I mean, from a 35 to a 53, that's a pretty stout little jump there, in my opinion. And then I've let some different shops look at these, and they're wanting to trade this for an ounce of gold, and one of them is giving me $2,700 credit towards whatever on this one, $2,700 worth of silver, or $2,700 towards gold. So basically, these two things together, whatever, about 3,400 versus about 2,700, whatever that number comes to. What is that about? It's about $6,000. Let's just say about $6,000. No matter what anybody on here may think or doesn't think, or that's and I've talked to different coin shops. I even showed them the coin shop I got it from, and that's what I've been getting. You know, that's the offers I've got on them. Is, hey, not I don't really want to sell them. but I'd want to trade them for precious metals. If that's what I would do, is trade them out for precious metals. So basically, I've got 1600. I got 1750, 1800 bucks. I think it's about 1750 invested in these things, guys, and and they're coming back at me with um, around 6 grand worth of trade, let's say. I didn't even ask about selling. I didn't even want to, you know, if I sell them and I got a little stack of green money, I'm just gonna take it. I'm just gonna take it and look for some more of these to find some great deals on. Um, or I'm gonna, get some of this. If I got 6 grand, I would probably be looking. I'd probably be looking for 2 ounces of this stuff. If I put a little money with it, I get it. But all right, guys, there it is. Just a little Labor Day rattling on video, just kind of showing you a little something out of my deep stack, I guess you would say. Um, just a little deep stack action. Let me try this. And I'm just gonna just screw everything up. Yeah, just a little deep stack action, guys. A little something else I mess with. I got a special place in my heart for Mount McKinley and for Alaska, and for some reason, for whatever, somehow President McKinley stuck in my brain when I was a kid. Probably because my little childhood buddy there, for you know how it is. He might have been my buddy in third grade for 3 months or something, but the rest of my life I'll think about the guy. Um, it was just all this McKinley stuff coming at me. All this McKinley stuff coming at me. So now as an adult, we'll go there and sitting there trying to think of the name of the town at the base of it. The village of Tantawanua or something like that. You guys can check it out. But go there, and there's an airport there, and it's called like something with a K something air. They got these cool red planes, and they'll take you right to the top of Mount McKinley, and they'll land on a glacier, and you can get out, walk around, climb around, do your thing. It's pretty cool, guys. There it is, guys. The rambling on of Stack Daddy here in Middle America, drinking coffee, rattling on, talking to some random other stackers from around the world about Mount McKinley. This is how this stacking community is, guys. It's a it's a crazy eclectic group of some some characters. Other people are probably watching football right now and whatnot, but that's just not what I'm doing. All right, guys. Stack Daddy out. You guys have a great holiday weekend.